If there's anything I have learned from the details of this Carlee Russell situation, is that we need to have a very deep conversation about us wanting to punish black girls. Y'all already know what time it is. I got the black V-neck on. Now, I know some of y'all probably are already hitting the dislike button, so let me go out and say this. I am not making this video to persuade you to believe anything. These are my thoughts. They're not changing, point blank, period. If there is anything I'm telling you to do, is to just listen. That's it. Because oftentimes when we have conversations like this, everybody is listening to respond. That's it. Nobody's listening to understand. Nobody's listening to like, hey, let me think about that. All I'm asking you on the behalf of black people, on the behalf of black girls, black women, black folks who are missing, black women who are missing, listen. That's it. That's all I'm asking you. That's all I want. I'm not interested in the response and this and that, because I'm going to lay out everything. Because honestly, this story hits home for me. It really hits home for me, and I really did not sit with it until I started getting prepared to record this video. As you all know, for those who do not know, I lost somebody who was very, very, very dear to me. One of the closest people I have ever been, next to my brother, my aunt. Like, she was the first family member who I told I was queer. She was the first person that I came out to. I love her deeply. Unfortunately, in 2010, while I was overseas, I was being deployed to Iraq, she went missing. The last time I saw her was Christmas of 2009. I never will forget it, because she had just had a baby. Now, in 2010, she went missing while I was about to fly over to Kuwait, Iraq in 2000. I think it was January of 2010. And I remember getting the call and my mother telling me that she had been missing and that she didn't pick up her kids and all this other stuff. So almost 3 months went by, and we didn't know where she was at. Unfortunately, to end this kind of long story, to make this long story short, she was found unalived, and the person who did this crime was the father of her children. And unfortunately, the person who found her was someone who was staying in a motel, and they found her body in this motel under a mattress. The police who were investigating this, the Memphis Police Department were investigating this, went to the motel, searched, did all types of work, never found her at all. Never. Now, these are people that we're paying taxes for. These are the folks who are supposed to protect and serve the community. Folks who literally go to boot camp and all types of training to be the folks, detectives even, who study and stuff. All of these things, could not find her. Could not find her for months. Took months to find her. Months. At that point, and I'm putting this out there because since we want to talk about resources, since we want to talk about time and effort being wasted, we're going to really talk about it, and I'm not going to hold back to make folks feel comfortable, because I want people to understand how serious this is when we talk about black women, black girls going missing, since everybody wants to make it a meme and everybody wants to laugh about it. So it was to the point that she had sat there so long that they couldn't recognize her body. They couldn't recognize her body. So this is why this story hits differently for me. And I am not mad at what Carlee Russell did, what she's been accused of. I frankly do not care, to be honest. I could give damn about the police resources and stuff being wasted when the police department itself is wasteful, period. The police department itself, when you look at the budget and the money that is spent in these cities on police, it is wasted. If we look at how much money is spent on them versus school and education and other things for the community, the police department is a waste itself. So I don't care. And I did not go and search. I did not leave my home. I did not leave my city and go to where her hometown was and picked up no magnifying glass and looked for her. I didn't do any of that. A lot of us didn't do it. A lot of us didn't take off time. Capitalism didn't allow us to go and help. A lot of us may have gave a retweet, a thought and prayer, and now folks want a refund on a retweet, thoughts and prayers, and a moment or a second that they gave to this. To be honest, the same energy that you give to the houseless person on the street or at the stop sign or at the gas station who you think about in that moment, you turn your head and you don't acknowledge them as human, give that same energy to this. Because y'all we do not truly care about people like this. As much as we want to lie and tell ourselves that we're good people and that we're concerned and we're hurt by this, if we were really hurt and we were devastated by actions like this, folks going missing, there would be so many other things that we would be doing to protect folks. We're in the middle of reproductive rights being snatched back and forth, voting rights being snatched here, folks losing jobs, people are not able to pay their bills, people getting evicted, people are now having to stay with these unwanted pregnancies and being pushed even further in poverty. Like, we do not care. This small amount of people who lie in situations like this doesn't take over the 99.999% of black women who are still missing, who are still not home, whose bodies have not been recovered. So let's stop pretending. Let's stop pretending. We're sounding worse than Republicans and Democrats offering thoughts and prayers when it comes to passing any type of gun reform. Like, we cannot be serious right now. So let's start from the beginning since I done went on my rant. So Carlee Russell is a 20-something-year-old black woman who reportedly, was trying to get this, toddler off the highway or the street into safety, and then she was never heard from again. Come to find out, they went through her search history. She was looking up what she had to pay for Amber Alerts and other things that, kind of questionable for somebody who has went missing. And now you have everybody responding and pissed off. For what reason, I really don't know, because these folks were not outside looking for her. Like, I'm just really confused. So a lot of folks were pissed off. And a lot of people did what they always do, and they wanted to punish a black girl or a black woman. We have this fixation of punishing black girls, and honestly reminds me of the black girl who licked the ice cream a couple of years ago and how people responded to that. And girl, they had a whole conversation about this black girl licking ice cream and how she was gonna contaminate it and make folks sick and this playful, harmful behavior. And then we got into the pandemic and folks didn't even want to wear a mask. Like, what did my fave say? You all are not serious people. You're not serious people. So there's already a rush to not believe black women. We've seen this with Megan Thee Stallion as of recently. Megan Thee Stallion from the very beginning had to continuously prove herself as a victim, had to keep talking and responding to all of the misinformation put out about her being shot, not being shot, glass in the foot, all of these things. Was she drunk? Was she like, she had to keep responding to that. People had to keep defending her, specifically black women, because they're the ones doing all of this work. They're the ones doing all of this work, all this concern and stuff. And this just reminds me, and people want to act as if every time a black woman or a black girl says something that they believe them. When in actuality, a lot of folks don't want to believe them. They do not want to support. They just don't. Like women in particular, like we've seen that even with the Johnny Depp trial. We saw this, like we saw jokes and stuff being made about Amber Heard. We see this time and time again when it comes to women, black women in particular, not being believed. Like black women talking about they experiencing assault, like all of these things, it's not being believed. And it also reminds me of the fixation on punishing black girls. Shout out to the Darkest Hue on Instagram, who wrote a whole article about it on Instagram. I love when they talk about things like this. And they talked about the rush to like punishing black girls for doing things like this, for punishing black women for doing things like this. And it reminded me of the conversation last year sometime about black girls revisiting their high school trauma of black male teachers and black female teachers sometimes chastising them and being harsher, specifically black men being harsher, because there was a video of this black assistant male principal talking to this black girl like crazy. We've seen videos like that every so often. They're probably stopping right now because the kids are out of school, but a lot of women have shared stories of them being in high school and how male authoritative figures responded to them, called them fast, including female, authoritative figures as well. Because I remember seeing it. It makes me like, oh wow, like black girls growing and becoming a woman is already being heavily policed. I remember my mother sharing how people thought that she was sexually active because her breasts were growing. And as I shared this story, a lot of other black women talked about how even their parents, or how even their mother, will respond to things like them calling them fast and telling them to, cover up when uncle or somebody is coming around or whatever, like this hyper fixation of policing black women. And I think that this is exactly what is happening right now, like with Carlee Russell. They want to punish her. They honestly would have felt better had she been not alive. Had she been found unalived, this would have made a lot of people happy, to be honest. And not in the way that, we won't, in West Lane, but it's just, I did a video about it explaining it further. I'm trying to be a little bit more careful with my words, considering that I'm posting this on YouTube. But I talked about it on Patreon. And I was seeing a post as I was in thought last night by someone who I really, really enjoy receiving commentary from is Raw Wilcox, and you can follow her on Instagram. The fact that y'all think an entire police force would discredit the various cases around missing black girls and black murders because of Carlee Russell's one lie should really let us know how unserious the police actually are. There's other things that she said in this, and I will post it, but it just reminded me of how a lot of us, unfortunately, are agents of the state, of the police. Why do we need the police to punish her when we want to punish her? Like the conversations around her right now are very disgusting in ways that only black women are put through. Only black women are put through. And the only people who should be having a conversation with Carlee Russell are her family and the people who were not paid to go look for her. Because at the end of the day, this is the police's job. The police's job is to go do work like this. This is their job. I mean, they're not stopping folks from being unalived. So, I mean, the best that they can do is go find bodies. That's the best that they can do. Like, that's the only thing they seem to be competent in. No matter how much money we give police departments, how much money is poured into police departments across the country, this is the best they can do. And I think that, back to what I said, I think that a lot of folks did want it to have a unhappy ending. A lot of folks wanted it to be an unhappy ending so they could turn this into this Queen and Slim sensationalized crime, murder, mystery podcast, unsolved crime situation. It's bad. It is bad because now you have all these folks that think because they've watched true crime or a couple of these Lifetime things that they know they can spot out a lie, all this other stuff. And it's extremely dangerous. It's extremely dangerous. And y'all are falling into it. Like, y'all, while people are saying, oh, this is going to take away from all the other stories. No, it's not. And if anything, y'all are helping it. If anything, we are agents of that. The way we're moving, the way we're talking about it, the way we are sensationalizing this, the way we're joking about it, the way we're seeing memes. You have people now treating this like it's pop culture commentary. You have Charlemagne the God on one of the shows that's been the most harmful to black women in several type of ways. I literally have had black women be disrespected, black women crying during interviews. Like, Charlemagne, the nerve of you on The Breakfast Club, one of the most harmful forms of media next to the Shade Room. Like, girl, you and y'all in the Shade Room are going tit for tat, to be honest. And the nerve of Young Miami agreeing with Charlemagne saying, oh, yes, Charlemagne, everything isn't about mental illness. Some people want clout. Says the girl who literally posts pictures with the most clout-chasing old black men who have stolen from black women, black female artists, and black artists, period. Who are you to offer any type of analysis as a female rapper? That's your job. You are not a psychologist, a psychiatrist. You, not too long ago, talking about psychology and mental illness, you literally were on a podcast talking about beating your child if he told you he was gay. The nerve of you. The nerve of you wanting to cause harm to your child because of their sexuality, and you want to tell us that you have a monopoly on the study of a human brain or mental illness? You got to be joking. Sit back and worry about writing bars for the next song. Sit back and keep your other group member from being an unnecessary drama online. Like, y'all need to learn y'all place, to be honest. And I'm not telling Carisha to shut up and dribble, but when it comes to conversations like this and you using your massive platform to talk about this, you're quiet on a lot of other things, mamas. Leave this one alone. Leave this one alone. Act like you didn't see it. Because anytime y'all come on here and y'all use your platform, y'all don't speak on a lot of other things. But when it comes to this, y'all have no issue. Because y'all know there's an audience for it. There's currency in it. While you have other TikTok folks with horse teeth getting on social media, offering commentary, trying to drag Carlee Russell as if they just didn't hear about the story yesterday. Y'all can't be serious. Y'all are not serious people. Y'all are not seriously committed to protecting black women. A lot of us are not. A lot of us are not. Y'all are no different than white folks putting Black Lives Matter in their bio and outside their house while participating in gentrification. To be honest, y'all are not serious. There's literally a massive move to stop Cop City that is literally destroying the community in Atlanta to build a bigger police department. Money being spent by the taxpayers to build another infrastructure to police and to harass Black folks. And none of y'all asses is out here talking about it. None of y'all are committed to TikToks, tweets. None of y'all asses is committed to doing any of this work. But now you want us to believe that you are committed to protecting the thousands of black women who are missing by talking about this story and giving it more unnecessary social commentary with no analysis. You got to be joking. As you can tell, I am very pissed off about it. Because I think that we are falling into the trap of giving legitimate claim to these small situations of people lying and saying that they're going to stop other black women from being found, when in actuality, there is nothing that Carlee Russell did to move it further. There is nothing that Carlee Russell has done that they were not already doing. So to the people who are pissed because resources and things were lost and their retweet and this sensationalized story has taken away from their day, are now mad. Y'all are mad that this girl is not found unalived. I really believe that. And I believe that a lot of people wanted a unhappy ending to satisfy their fixation on murder mystery podcasts and things. Like, we really need to have a deep conversation about that. We really do. And the nerve of this police department getting out, doing all of this research and doing all these things. And yes, the girl looked up stupid stuff. There was no need for this, but they want to bring this girl and punish her in front of everybody. They want to punish her. And y'all are not telling me that this is not fueled by misogynoir. Y'all are not telling me it's not. Because in y'all minds, a lot of our minds, unfortunately, we already think that black girls want clout and want attention when they're just simply existing. I don't know what made this girl do these things. I don't know why she did it. But I know that me trying to hold her accountable is not the right response. Who am I to hold her accountable? Who am I? I am not in community with her. I am not someone who's out here spending money or whatever to find her. I am not. And neither are a lot of us. So why are we truly mad? Why are we truly mad? Ask yourself why you are really mad, and then come back and rewatch this video. Because as we take a deeper analysis of why we are mad, there's truly no reason for us to be mad.